This video is based off of reports coming out of the Eastern Front during World War I. No first-hand accounts were recorded, so what follows is a recreation based on events as reported by soldiers on the front lines. You're a Russian soldier on the front lines of World War I. You're fighting alongside your comrades in the Lithuanian forest. From across the battlefield, you spot your enemy. You take aim through the dense pine trees of the forest. You inhale, then hold your breath to steady your aim. The air is silent as you and your squad track the enemy and prepare fire. You're about to unleash a barrage of bullets when suddenly you hear a guttural growl from the thicket next to you. You glance at where the sound is coming from. Out of the bushes steps the largest wolf you have ever seen. Its eyes are blood red and drool drips from its jowls. You open your mouth to scream, but before you can get a noise out, the wolf lunges and knocks you down. The wolf's jaws and razor-sharp teeth snap at you. You use your rifle as a barrier to protect your neck from the vicious creature. The wolf clamps down on the middle of the rifle, and you hear the wood begin to splinter and crack as its powerful jaws clasp down harder. You look around for help, for anything that could save you. All you see is more and more wolves running out of the bushes. They kick up the freshly fallen snow as they begin attacking your comrades. Screams can be heard from all around. You look up at the wolf who has you trapped under its immense weight. Its claws tear through your army-issued jacket and uniform as if it were tissue paper. You lock eyes with the creature and see that it's driven solely by hunger. The war has displaced animals of all kinds from their natural habitats. These wolves are just trying to survive World War I like everyone else. Unfortunately for you, in order to survive, a wolf has to eat, and you will make a fine meal. The wolf on top of you does not crave human flesh, but there's nothing else to eat. Its usual prey of deer has either been killed and eaten by soldiers or moved on to other areas further east where the war hasn't reached yet. Warm saliva lands on your forehead as the wolf continues to clamp down on the rifle. You glance at the razor-sharp teeth. The rifle's about to snap. The wolf will then have a clear path to your throat and its meal. Suddenly, you hear the crack of a gunfire. The wolf seems to slow. You hear another gunshot. The wolf slowly slumps down on top of you. Its massive weight pins you to the ground. It's been shot and killed. You glance to the side and see the white snow being dyed red. It takes all your strength to roll the heavy canine off your body. Once you've gotten out from under the wolf, you look up to see an outstretched hand offering to help you up. Relieved, you take the hand and are pulled to your feet. What you see next shocks you about as much as the wolf. The man who saved you was not one of your Russian comrades, but an enemy German soldier instead. You thank him in the little broken German that you know. The German soldier picks up your rifle and hands it to you. He then signals for you to follow him deeper into the forest where the wolves and men are engaged in a battle with one another. You hesitate for a moment, unsure of whether to trust the enemy soldier, but he did save your life, so you give him the benefit of a doubt. The war between two nations has stopped for the moment. The war between beast and man has begun. You've been fighting in World War I since it started in 1914, but you've never experienced anything like the wolf attacks that became common recently. With the help of the Germans, you successfully fend off the pack of wolves that attacked your squad. The commanders of both armies meet and decide to call a momentary truce while you deal with a new enemy. Both sides work together to track and hunt the wolves that have become a menace to soldiers and civilian populations in this region. 1917 becomes the year of the wolf for Russian and German soldiers on the northeastern front of the war. After your commander comes back from the meeting with the Germans, he informs the Russian troops of the momentary truce. He assigns you to a mixed squad of Russian and German soldiers. Your new mission is to track down and hunt the wolves in the area. The attack started with hungry wolves picking at the remains of dead soldiers after battles, but you'll never forget the day they became more bold and aggressive. You shudder as you think back to that horrid day. Your squad was engaged in battle with German forces. You were fighting alongside one of your comrades when he was shot in the leg. You flanked the enemy soldier who shot him and eliminated the threat. But when you turned around to help your fallen comrade, you came upon a gruesome sight. As the wounded soldier tried to crawl back to the safety of your trench, a group of 3 wolves lunged out of the forest. 2 of the wolves grabbed his legs and the other grabbed his neck. They dragged the wounded soldier deeper into the forest. You could hear his screams for help, and then silence as the wolves killed him and ate his remains. And this was not just a one-time occurrence either. You had witnessed wolves run into the middle of a battle and attack soldiers who were not even wounded. The wolves had become bold and fearless. They were driven by hunger. They would do anything for food. This happened on the German side of the battlefield as well. The ceasefire was necessary so that both armies could turn their attention toward the wolves. Casualties of the ravenous creatures were starting to mount. Both sides decided that the war needed to be put on pause so the four-legged enemy could be stopped. You hear stories from the German soldiers of the first unusual attacks by the wolves. They claim the attack started when hungry wolves snuck into farms and villages where they killed calves, sheep, and other livestock. Eventually, the packs of wolves had consumed all of the animal food in the area. This was when they turned to eating humans. Their hunger drove them. They ate whatever meat was available. Unfortunately, because of the war, human meat was in plentiful supply. The wolves were forced to attack and eat wounded soldiers to survive. You sit around the campfire with the hunting squad and continue to listen to stories from the German soldiers. Apparently, once livestock started to run out in German farming settlements, the wolves turned to a different prey. They started to hunt the children of the village. At this point, the wolves were in smaller packs. The group you hunt now could be as many as 50 strong. A full-grown adult can do some serious harm to a single wolf or a small pack with a weapon, but children are little and easy prey to pick off. Wolves will lay in wait until the children of the village come out of their homes and then grab them. They'll pull the child into the forest where they can eat it in peace. War is gruesome enough without wolves hunting children, you say to the others around the campfire. You stand up and stretch. It's time for you to go on watch. You climb up into a large boulder and sit silently. From the bushes, you can see the firelight reflecting off the eyes of something watching you. It looks like two unmoving fireflies in the darkness of night. You bring your rifle up to your shoulder. The eyes disappear. Was it just my imagination, you think? The wolves have become clever. They'll wait until a soldier leaves the group to relieve himself. Once they're alone, it's easier for the pack to surround him and attack. You and the other soldiers start moving about in small groups. This seems to keep the wolves at bay. However, snipers who are used to working alone still travel out of the hunting party solo. They take up positions in trees, high off the ground and away from the sharp teeth and claws of the wolves. Nonetheless, some snipers aren't so lucky. They are specially trained to track and eliminate enemies from long distances, but wolves have been in these forests a lot longer than humans. This is their natural habitat, and they've evolved to be perfect predators. Even with their stealthiness and accuracy, snipers cannot fend off packs of hungry wolves that have stalked them. The sniper might not even know they're being hunted until it's too late. During this time and location of the war, more snipers have been attacked by wolves than by enemy soldiers. The wolf hunting squad you're assigned to is tasked with making contact with a village not too far from where you were first attacked. Your squad enters the village. It's a ghost town. There are no signs of life anywhere. Fires smolder and smoke rises from the warm charcoal, but no one seems to be in the village. Then you come across a horrible sight. Blood covers the snowy ground. All around there are wolf prints. The pack of wolves must have been at least 50 strong, and they ate all of the villagers. You decide it's time for drastic measures. Your squad sets up traps around the area and puts poison in fresh meat. You lay out nets and snares to catch the murderous wolves. Your traps are successful, and you end up eliminating some of the pack. But the wolves still have a large group, and they're on the prowl. Your squad of Russian and German soldiers tracks the pack. You come upon them as they're scavenging a battlefield from an earlier battle. The mixed squad takes positions along the tree line. You first throw a grenade into the middle of the pack. It detonates, killing several wolves in the explosion. The squad takes aim and fires at the wolves as they scatter. Some of the larger, more aggressive wolves run toward your squad. You fire your rifle. The bullets seem to have little effect on such large creatures, but your hunting squad unleashes a storm of bullets. Finally, the approaching wolves are stopped and fall over dead in the snow. Through the joint efforts of both armies, hundreds of wolves are killed. Their reign of terror has ended. Some wolves got away and relocated to deeper parts of the forest. Their numbers are smaller now, and so they're not as bold. They also leave war zones for areas with more deer and prey for them to eat further to the north and east. Russia is a vast country, and the war has not and never will reach all of the wilderness of northern Russia. After the wolf threat is dealt with, your commander meets again with his German counterpart. They disband the joint hunting squads and each soldier returns to his side. The war resumes as it did before. Russians killing Germans, Germans killing Russians. Without the mutual enemy to bring the two sides together, they're back to battling one another. When you return home from the war, you find that your joint wolf hunting force has made headlines around the world. The ceasefire and wolf hunt is written about in both German and Russian newspaper outlets. One of your friends who lives in the United States sends you clippings from the New York Times titled Russian Wolves. Another article about your exploits is printed in the Oklahoma City Times and called Battle Halts While Troops Fight Wolves. It seems that all across the world, the stories of man versus wolf on the Russian front has made headlines. You think about how a world war that could pit so many countries against one another can be brought to a halt by a common enemy. The wolves that hunted and ate humans in the forests of Germany and Russia caused an unlikely alliance. the two armies were forced to work together to overcome their common enemy of man-eating wolves. Check out another video of soldiers having to fight off crazy enemies in our video Soldiers Encounter Mysterious Monsters in Vietnam War. Or check out this crazy animal in Tiger with 436 kill-death ratio. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.